It's just never. Guess we'll figure it out. Guess we'll figure it out. Figure it out. Dude, something is wrong with these servers today, I swear. Like, failed to connect. Come on, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god, I might actually have to get my fucking deck for this, bro. That's wild. What is wrong with Dueling Book? What is wrong with Dueling Book? Nice echo, dude. Really cool. Guess I'll have to get my deck then. Alright, well, we're doing it live. We're doing this instead. I was gonna, what am I trying to say here? I was gonna use dueling. Are you fucking. Dude, you're screwing with me now. There's just no way. Oh my god. Alright, that works. Sure. Okay. Okay, so this is the deck profile that I promised everyone. It was the one that I got undefeated with at locals. Um, Honestly, in hindsight, I kind of wish I brought this to the regional. I did well at the regional, but this will probably be the deck that I play moving forward anyway, just because I don't want to play fire decks. And to be honest, light and dark decks go really good into fire decks from my experience. When I was, I don't know, just something about the Bestials, man. I don't feel like going into too much detail about it, but just the constant bodies that Bestial decks put up can be overwhelming. So yeah, this is the deck. I guess probably should have had it set up better, but I wasn't really I didn't really think that it would be this difficult to get the stream going. Um, yeah, that should be everything here. Hand traps. Just put them all together real quick. Let's put these down here. 1, 2. Oh, it's not letting me. 3. Sure. We'll do it this way. 3, 3, 3, 3. All the one-offs. The horse engine, which should be actually up here. And this, sorry guys, I'm just getting this all. I thought I had this all set up beforehand, but it is what it is. So, alright. Yeah, welcome to the deck profile. So, kind of fly by ear, but I owed a deck profile. I'm Nolan, for those of you who don't know, from Natty Nolan Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a deck that I've been playing for a while now, and like I said prior, this is probably the deck I'm going to keep playing into Phantom Nightmare, post-Phantom Nightmare release, into that new format. I have a few other decks in mind. I am going to try Magic Spectre. I am definitely going to try Raid Raptor. Not a lot of people know, but my close friends know that is my favorite deck of all time, and the fact that they just keep getting support over the years. You know, they just got support not too long ago, like a year ago, and now they're getting more support in Phantom Nightmare, and the cards look crazy. It can play through Nib, but that's, you know, on a different tangent. Ubel, yeah, Magic Spectre, Raid Raptor. There's a few decks that I want to try out post Phantom Nightmare. But this is the deck that I'm going to be mainly going to tournaments with, or like locals. Well, that's pretty cool. So at least it's the image is there. I don't know what's wrong with Duel Book, but we'll just try to, I guess, keep messing with it as it keeps wanting to log us out. So, yeah. Hand traps. 3 Ash, 3 Joel, 3 Imperm. I feel like they're just the best hand traps in the format. You know, the 3 different hand traps there just kind of cover everything. You could play Nib in this, but I just don't like Nibiru. I think it's good in post Phantom Nightmare, but I don't think it does enough. I think Nibiru kind of had its prime time, like early 2022 backwards, you know. When it came out in the 2020 Megatons, it was like a 2-year stretch where Nib was just like crazy, but or maybe it was 2019, I don't remember. But I just remember it being crazy for a long time, right? And I think post Phantom Nightmare with all of the everyone's going. I feel like a lot of decks are going to be playing Cross Out, and most people are going to be playing Fire King Sinful Spoil. Sorry about my camera, by the way. I know it keeps flickering. I gotta fiddle with it a little more. Yeah, I just think that these hand traps are better. And then I played the small Bestial package, so 1 Druis, 1 Sarnier, 1 Magnemite, 1 Rebellion, and then down there you can see the 1 Regained. My theory behind this was playing Magnemite in any Bestial build means that you're playing 2 of every other Bestial. I think I opened up a Bestial in every hand. It was good, you know, just Synchro Summoning into Dissipator with a Gear Suit that has 2 other cards in the same column as it, which is easy to set up. You know, you keep it on board, you get the Galatea online, like right above Gear Suit in Zone 2 or 4. And then with Galatea, you can set Crescendo or Return, or if you have like Talents in hand, you can set that, or any other normal spell or trap underneath Gear Suit to make it a tuner. You Synchro into Baron. As you're banishing cards, you know, you can get any of them back just for even more recursion. And also you can use it as a pop, right, or a negate on your opponent's turn, if they have any banished cards, if you like Bestial a card out of the graveyard. So yeah, just one of all the Bestials and Regained, which was fine. And that's the difference. I think I said something about that in the last deck profile, that I was going to change the ratios, which I did. And then there's the Horse Engine. I'm not going to change this even with the release of the spell card. You could argue that the new field spell would add some level of consistency, I don't think it's good enough to just take up random space in this or add to it. I'd rather just keep the three King Sark, the three Imseti, because at that point you're running, six copies of King Sark anyway, and the one Happy's good, just level 8. Um, I don't run Kibetsunev and I don't run Duamatef anymore because they were just bricking too much. You could argue it's easier access to Giant Trainer, which we do play, but I'm probably going to replace Giant Trainer with something else anyway. Just never came up. I kind of do want to keep it in there just for like burn for time. Like if you manage to keep an Imseti on field, and then it rolls over to your turn, and you can summon another Imseti and Happy, then you can burn for time. Draw 3, whatever. I am playing 2 Symbol Skeleton. I like it. I just like it better. I think having 2, one in rotation, one in deck, is optimal, especially if you draw one, because you need one in deck. 1 Harpar, 2 Nightmare. Same theory with Orcus Nightmare. Um, if you draw one, it's a complete brick. But if you have a second one in deck and you're still able to combo and use it, you're free to go. And you can Galtea set return, pitch the Nightmare, draw 2 cards. 3 Girsu. Girsu's just bait. They have to hand trap it. If they don't, it's full combo on its own. So you just kind of you always kind of start with Girsu and just hope that your opponent activates like Ash or Imperm. That way you don't have to worry about it the rest of the turn. But if it does resolve, it's crazy. It's a crazy card. And then the 1 World Wand, that's self-explanatory. Banish for cost, special summon. Target a banished Orcus monster, special summon it. Can't summon anything but darks by that point anyway, so it's fine. Then you can rotate it into your deck with Long Girsu or Galatea, or you can special summon it back with Dissipator, which gives you another 8. So if you have Happy and Imseti on board, and you can summon out the World Wand if you have the space, then you can overlay all 3 of those, or 2 of them even, into like Dingirsu if you had one, or an extra one. Oh, and that's what I replaced actually. I did end up replacing the Giant Trainer with a second Dingirsu. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I mean, you can just use it as overlay material and keep one of the like Dimseti or Happy on board or something like that. It's good. It's a good card. 1 Dark Grepher and 1 Armageddon Knight. I was iffy about playing the Dark Grepher at first, but I just have a lot of dark targets that can pitch from hand, and ones that you can also pitch to send. So we have like the double Orcus Nightmare. We do have Imseti if you draw an extra. You do have the World Wand. You have a few extra higher level darks that you can utilize to get the full range on Dark Grepher's effects. Dark Grepher himself technically could be a 1-card combo. If you normal summon him, you activate its effect, pitch a dark like Nightmare, Symbol Skeleton, Harp Horror, and then you send another from deck. That's just full combo itself. So that's one of those. It's another card where your opponent has to stop it if you're able to activate it, because I'm pretty sure it does it pitch for cost. I don't remember. Yeah, so pitches for cost. So that's like kind of that honestly is the most important part. That no matter what, you're getting a dark out of your hand, maybe one that you bricked on, like Nightmare. So that's kind of cool, right? So if you have Grepher and Nightmare in hand, you can pitch Nightmare for cost, and then they have to stop the rest of it with like Ash or Imperm. But you already have Nightmare and Grave Knight, so you can banish that for cost to target Grepher, send like World Wand, send Harpar, and start doing your combo. Armageddon Knight, same deal. It's a 1-card full combo, just without the cost to pitch from Dark Grepher, like Dark Grepher, I should say. They have to stop it. It's great normal summon, great for material. It's also really funny to summon back off of Dissipator, so if it gets negated and you're able to get into a Bestial throughout the turn, it's fun to Bestial the Armageddon Knight out of the grave. And if you're able to get into Dissipator, you can summon Armageddon Knight back and then just reactivate its effect for more combo. 2 copies of Allure. I think that's pretty standard. I already told you guys about the 1 regained. 1 Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial on its own is a 1-card full combo, just like Armageddon Knight. You just don't get the extra body, but that's fine. Harp Horror, summon out Girsu send, blah, 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 blah. 1 Babel, 1 Return. They're just searchable. You're basically playing 3 of them because you have 2 Galatea in your extra deck. So for me, theory-wise, at that point you're playing 3 Babel, 3 Return, 3 Crescendo. And again, with any of these cards that can banish themselves, like Crescendo, if you have Dissipator on board, you can tuck back the Orcus Crescendo and pop a card like Ghost Ogre, and then Galatea can just reset the Crescendo. Um, I was thinking about, I know it's kind of like a tangent, but maybe I'll run a second one of these. Otherwise, yeah, we're running 2 talents. Never need to thrust, didn't need the third talents. 2 was fine. I felt like it was glued to my hand anyway. Had my opponent cut my deck a bunch of times. Um, I played Natty too. He was shuffling the shit out of it. And yeah, I just kind of drew talents a lot. It's just a really good card. Draw 2 or rip 1 out of the hand to prevent more hand traps like Nib or Droll from resolving. And then obviously the 1 Crescendo. Crescendo is just, it is what it is, man. It's a really good counter trap. Not only does it negate, but it banishes. That's kind of everything that you want in a trap card right now. I didn't do the side deck because moving forward I need to readjust the side deck. Maybe some like DD Crows or something, but last format it was pretty typical, right? So in the side it was 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Heart Beast, 3 Evenly. I put in 3 Judgment for if I was going first, because Evenly Match as a blowout card is really bad if you don't get Crescendo access. I put in Mind Control at 3, and I don't remember what the last 3 of was. I think it was 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Because this deck doesn't really play well into stuff like Lab. You kind of want to make sure they just turbo all their stuff out in draw phase. Extra deck, we got 1 Barone. If you're not Dark Locked, Barone's a really good Omni. Dissipator, another just fantastic card. What else do you want to say? Chaos Angel, really good card. Giant Trainer, this was the one I'm still kind of iffy about. I'm going to leave it in for now, but I think I'm going to replace it with a second Ding. Ding Gearsu himself. Photon Lord, this is pretty much what you go into first before you commit to anything else to prevent hand traps, because then you put your opponent on, you have to either have Imperm or a combination of Nib plus Imperm, which is very rare. It happens, but it's rare. So this is just a giant threat. Typhon, it's Typhon. It's a good card. You can't go into Zeus because you get Dark Locked all the time. It's not convenient enough. Zombie Vampire, really good card. Boral Sword. Oh, and just in case anyone doesn't know what this does, you detach, and then for cost, and then you and your opponent send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then you, the controller of Zombie Vampire, can special summon a monster from either graveyard among those cards that were sent. 1 Boral Sword, I explained this last time, it's better than Access Code in this deck. It's just turbo OTK, and because you get Dark Lock, this is more effective and efficient to go into, especially with IP, because then it can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects. It's kind of like a mini Towers. 2 Galatea, standard. 1 Long Gearsu, also standard. Long Gearsu kind of comes up more, recently at least. Just the fact that you can shuffle 2 back and not have to do anything after that, it's really good. Also can't be destroyed by card effects, which is great if it's linked. IP, SP, and I'm still running the 1 Link Spider. I still think there's a great card if you get nibbed early enough where you're not Dark Locked and you're able to go into Link Spider from the token, and then you can keep comboing from there if you have enough material, like if you have like a Bestial, if you have Regained on top of that, if you didn't normal summon like Gearsu, or if you still have like a Greffer plus something in handed pitch for it. It's a good card to have as like it's a solid backup. It's a solid backup. So yeah, that is the entire deck. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be playing this moving forward as my main competitive deck. I still need to try out the other ones, which are Magispector, Yubel, and Raid Raptor. I have high hopes for Raid Raptor. I know it was topping in the OCG for a little bit with a new support, and I pretty much have the deck already fitted and ready to be played with. I just need all the new cards to shove in there. I have a few other decks running around, like Kashtira. I have Pure Snake Eyes or Sinful Spoils built. The issue is I'm missing 3 Populous, 2 Bonfire, so that dream's probably not going to come true because I don't want to spend, $400 on 5 cards. So I'm probably going to be playing this for a little bit. And this is really good against that deck too. even if they go like Flamberg, target IP and graveyard, and you can Bestial that thing out of the graveyard, that's a really strong move. It prevents access to Apollosa, or they have to commit resources to Apollosa right then and there. Not so great against, obviously, the rest of the deck, but I do think it can keep up, toe-to-toe with fire decks. I mean, it certainly did this format. Um, even when I was playing Blackwing, that deck, I think the thing with the fire decks is that they don't have back row removal. So if you're starting out with something like Kingsark, Regained, Allure, Return, Imperm, they don't have many ways to actually get around that, especially if like you do draw phase target Flamberg, so that way they have to keep IP, or they have to activate it right away to summon it. It's good. It's not the best move, but the fact that they just don't have spell trap removal, it's very good. I don't know what the builds are going to look like now. I'm pretty sure they can go into Barone somehow. I think it's something like Formula Synchro with Flamberg in the pure build. I'm pretty sure it's only in the pure build though, not in the Fire King Snake Eyes, because you get like Fire Locked or something like that. I have to read into it a little more, but I know that the pure version can quick synchro into Barone on your turn. So even in that case, right? If you're playing and you have Imperm in hand and they just like turbo shit out the Barone as soon as you activate like a Regained, or you activate like Foolish Burial or Return, or if you activate Allure or just something, right? Something to just like proc them if they're a bad player. You can Imperm Barone and keep playing. They'll get a bunch of stuff, but it's the name of the game now. I don't think it's the best deck in the room, but I think people really don't pay attention to this deck enough. This build is most likely going to change as well. I'm probably going to either increase the amount of horse monsters, maybe mess with the ratios on the spells, maybe add in maybe take out Crescendo. I don't know. I do think that the deck as it is currently is very good and very consistent, but I just don't want to run the risk of bricking at all against fire decks this format. So I'm going to be looking around for other options. I was thinking about actually running the Assault Synchron package, where it's 2 tuning, 2 Assault Synchron, or you can do like 2 Assault Synchron, 1 tuning, like keep it very low, like 43, because the pitch off the top is usually pretty good, if you're sending like a Bestial or an Orcust or a World Wand, if you're sending Crescendo itself, just so that if you're able to stay out of being Dark Locked and get into some like Excel Synchro, into Barone, or into Dissipator, and just keep going from there. I don't know, it just seems pretty good. So I'm gonna mess around with like Power Tool and the Assault Synchron package and see what comes up. But yeah, this build is definitely going to change. But I still owed a deck profile from when I went undefeated at the locals event. So that's it. It was a good little test for the live streaming. We're going to be doing more of this as time goes on. It's going to be infrequent just because there's a lot of stuff going on between Natty and I and our personal lives and this game. But we've been just waiting for this new format to roll around. We were just really sick of the last one. I mean, not that this new one's going to be much better in terms of playability, but it's mostly that we're very excited over the decks that are coming out, giving us a lot of options. So that's it. We'll be back. Hopefully next weekend we make it to locals and we do well, and we'll keep you guys updated for announcements when we start going back to regionals. That's it. Thank you. See ya.